Joe Rogan's Rogan is an American stand-up comedian, podcast host, and mixed martial arts commentator. I first discovered Rogan through his podcast, on which he interviews some legendary individuals, and has some unusually enlightening discussions. However, Rogan began his career as a stand-up comedian, and it wasn't until he was successful that he created the podcast, and began commentating for the UFC. In all my travelings, all my life adventures, I have to say I still don't know what life is, absolutely no clue, and it is a subject that is constantly on my mind. One thing I do know for a fact is that the nicer we are to our fellow human beings, the nicer the universe will be cool to people. Be nice to as many people as you can. Smile to as many people as you can, and have them smile back at you. Joe Rogan. 2. I had a sense of who I was before I got famous. Joe Rogan. 3. I'm obsessed to extreme winners because I think there's a madness to it. I truly believe that in order to truly be great at something you have to give into a certain amount of madness. Joe Rogan. Live your life like you're the hero in your own movie. Joe Rogan. 6. People want their 15 minutes and are willing to do anything to get it. Joe Rogan. 7. That's my only goal. Surround myself with funny people, and make sure everyone has a good time and works hard. Joe Rogan. 10. No matter how civilized we are and how much society has curbed violent behavior, human beings still have the same genes they had 10,000 years ago. Our bodies are designed to have a certain amount of physical stress and violence in them. We are designed to run from jaguars and fight to defend our territory. Joe Rogan. 12. Greatness and madness are next-door neighbors and they often borrow each other's sugar. Joe Rogan. 13. I love a success story, but even more than a success story, I like a dude who f's his life up and gets his life together again story. Joe Rogan. 14. If you are the greatest, why would you go around talking about it? Joe Rogan. 15. Kindness is one of the best gifts you can bestow. We know that inherently that feels great. Joe Rogan. 16. Once you understand what excellence is all about, you see how excellence manifests itself in any discipline. Joe Rogan. 17. Reality really is a theater. There's no other way to describe it. It's also nonsensical, ridiculous and chaotic. Joe Rogan. 18. The key to happiness doesn't lay in numbers in a bank account but in the way we make others feel and the way they make us feel. Joe Rogan. 20. We define ourselves far too often by our past failures. That's not you. You are this person right now. You are the person who has learned from those failures. Build confidence and momentum with each good decision you make from here on out and choose to be inspired. Joe Rogan. 21. Faith itself is a horrible mechanism that stunts the growth of ideas. It also stunts the act of questioning, and it does this by pushing the idea that you have to have faith, and that nothing has. If you can control what you eat, you can control all other aspects of your life. Joe Rogan. 26. Life is about the pursuit of excellence. That pursuit is probably more exciting to me now more than ever. Joe Rogan. There's a never-ending ocean of techniques out there. Joe Rogan. 31. When someone comes along and expresses him or herself as freely as they think, people flock to it. They enjoy it. Joe Rogan. 32. We are constantly reevaluating the potential for life. We are finding it where we didn't think it could exist, such as volcanic vents and other extreme conditions like under Arctic ice. We're finding life in these incredibly harsh and dynamic conditions, so we are having to reevaluate our own ideas of what's possible on this planet alone. 34. Here's the craziest thing about life. This is the thing that nobody really considers. You know as much about what life is all about as anybody who's ever lived, ever. That's the craziest thing about us. We're all just kinda wandering through this going, you know what you're doing? Yes. Oh, I do too. I know what I'm doing. Okay. Good, then. But really no one has a clue. Joe Rogan. 35. I think that one of the reasons why people look towards the end of humanity is that people are afraid to die alone. If you die alone, the people you love will miss you, or if they die, you miss them. The sorrow is inevitable. When you truly love someone, the thought of losing them forever is horrible. Joe Rogan. 36. If you ever start taking things too seriously, just remember that we are talking monkeys on an organic spaceship flying through. If you ever start taking things too seriously, just remember that we are talking monkeys on an organic spaceship flying through the universe. Joe Rogan. 37. Life is strange. You keep moving and keep moving. Before you know it, you look back and think, what was that? The time you spend hating on someone robs you of your own time. You are literally hating on yourself and you don't even realize it. Joe Rogan. 41. There's only one way to get good at anything. You surround yourself with the bad motherfuckers who are doing exactly you do and you force yourself to keep up and inspire each